The scoreboard said it was over. Nobody told the Knicks. Welcome to the Always On Mute podcast. I'm Antonia, and this is where quiet minds speak with intention. Welcome to the Always On Mute podcast, where we know not everyone was born with a mic in their hand or a megaphone in their mouth, but we still have something to say, because quiet is still a voice. Wednesday night, a lot of people probably looked at that scoreboard and said, yeah, this is done. And listen, I get it. I wouldn't have blamed them if they believed that. Because down 29 points in an NBA Finals game against the San Antonio Spurs at Madison Square Garden, the numbers were not on our side. But here is the thing about numbers. They do not account for people who refuse to accept them. San Antonio came out hot. They put up 41 points in the first quarter. The Knicks had 20, and by halftime, the Spurs were up by 27. And I wonder what that locker room felt like. Down by that many points in the finals on your home court, some teams would have probably just decided, you know what, we're done. Right? Just go through the motions to the end. Some might have kept playing, but not with the same focus. Just enough to say they didn't quit, but not enough to actually come back. The Knicks didn't do that. No, sorry, Bobby. Somewhere between halftime and the third quarter, something shifted. They started playing like they still had a right to win that game, and they did. Third quarter, they cut into the lead. Then the fourth quarter came, and that's when everything changed. Jalen Brunson finished with 36 points. OG Anunoby had 33 and went 7 for 9 from 3. And when the final buzzer sounded, the Knicks had won! 107-106. Like, what? A 1-point win after being down 29. The Knicks now lead the NBA Finals 3-1. And Madison Square Garden, I feel like New York City, not even just Madison Square Garden. New York City lost its mind. Inside the Garden, outside the Garden, across Knicks Nation. People were screaming, calling each other, waking up to notifications, trying to figure out, wait a second, what did I miss? Right? Because what happened did not make sense on paper. And that's what made it unforgettable. But what I love very much was because that win, it wasn't one person. It wasn't just Brunson carrying the whole thing. It wasn't just OG shooting the lights out. It was the whole team. It was all of them. One player made a shot. Another played a stop. Somebody moved to the right spot. Somebody trusted the pass. Somebody kept running even when the number said there was no point to do so. You don't suddenly find that kind of trust in the fourth quarter of an NBA Finals game. Right? That trust gets built in practice. It gets built in losses. It gets built in moments nobody highlights. In Madison Square Garden, that building has its own spirit. When the crowd is locked in, you can feel it through the screen. Wednesday night, that building became fuel. Every bucket, every stop, every free throw, the crowd was right there with them. And listen, the Spurs had every reason to feel good. I mean, if I was them, I would have. They were up big. They were playing like a team that thought the door had already closed. And that's a dangerous place to be. Because when you think something is over too soon, you stop respecting the clock. The Knicks kept respecting the clock. They didn't argue with the score. They played. They didn't panic over the lead. They chipped away at it. They didn't need the scoreboard to tell them they had a chance. They played like they still had one because they did. It wasn't over. And at some point in that fourth quarter, you can feel it, even through the screen. The Knicks started moving differently. They looked calmer, sharper, more connected. And the Spurs started looking around like, wait a second, what's happening? Right? That's That's what pressure does. It shows you who still believes, and the Knicks kept answering with the next play. Now, hold that thought for a second. Several weeks ago on this very podcast, I talked about a marathon runner named Carson Mello. He was at the Delaware Marathon. He was ahead, comfortably ahead. And with the finish line in sight, he raised his hands. He started celebrating. He had already decided he won. But a 24-year-old from Pottstown, Pennsylvania named Joshua Jackson kept running. Baby, when I tell you homeboy took off, he was never supposed to win that race. But he put his head down and gave it everything he had left. And he crossed the finish line 2 seconds before Carson did. 2 seconds. Carson lost a race he was already winning because he stopped running before it was over. The Knicks could have done the same thing too, just from the other side. They were down 29. 29! They could have accepted a loss before the clock confirmed it. They could have protected themselves emotionally. They could have saved their energy for Game 5. They could have told themselves, this one got away from us. A lot of teams probably would have done that. Instead, they ran. And maybe that's why this hit so hard. Because Knicks fans know what it feels like to hope carefully. I grew up watching Patrick Ewing pour everything into that Knicks jersey. Every season we prayed. Every season we talked ourselves into believing this could be the year. And every season it didn't happen. Not because he wasn't good, because he was great. But somewhere in all those years of hoping and hurting, a lot of us learned how to protect ourselves. We started watching with one eye closed. Believing, but not too loudly. Wanting it badly, but still bracing for disappointment. Keeping the celebration close enough to feel it, but far enough away that the fall wouldn't hurt as much. Wednesday night, some fans might have considered going to bed by the middle of the fourth quarter. Some probably stayed up, but watched with their fingers crossed. And some stayed all the way in it, through every bucket, every stop, every nervous breath. And they got to feel that comeback happen in real time. Joshua Jackson, the marathoner, didn't cross his fingers. He ran. The Knicks didn't slow down. They played harder. That's the part that got me. Whatever you are in the middle of right now, whatever your version of down 29 looks like, whatever finish line you've been running toward while other people have already written your ending for you, keep going. The game is not over just because it looks bad. The race is not over just because someone else started celebrating. And your story is not finished just because the scoreboard is ugly right now. Sometimes the quietest kind of belief is the one that keeps moving when nobody else sees the point. So run anyway, play anyway, stay together. Trust the people running beside you, because sometimes the team that stays together long enough is the team that finds a way to win. Don't dance before the music finishes, and definitely don't go to bed before the fourth quarter is done, because it's not over until the final buzzer goes off. Let's go Knicks! Let's go Knicks. Subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes. Where in your life are you still in the fourth quarter? Please remember, quiet doesn't mean you have nothing to say. It means you choose your words with intention. Stay muted, stay mighty. Let's go Knicks!